And welcome back to Jeff Kananga live here at Citizen Television. On the bench today, the FCPA himself, Treasury, National Treasury and Economic Planning, CS, John Mbadi Ngongo. I got that right last time. Thank you. Listen, by the way, Manu Chandaria, my good friend, he's 100 years old and he's watching us. He says a big hello to you.
Amazing.
He says congratulations, yes.
Mzee, thank you very much. And I'm very excited that he always watches this show. And he's a great Mzee.
Great man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about something before I ask you my next question, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to correct that our transaction advisor is actually for KPC, is actually Faida Investment Bank and not KCB. KCB is for Safaricom Divestiture, you know. I've been handling the two, so
yes.
Sometimes I even call KPC Safaricom. I've been on Safaricom even longer.
Yeah.
So that
I get confused like that all the time. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Because, listen, what if Kenyans reject? What if Kenyans don't hear your call to buy shares? What's the government going to do?
No, first of all, from the book build, already there are a good number of Kenyans who have expressed interest and have already subscribed. But yes, we haven't reached there as at now. But we are already seeing oversubscription and in other classes. It would be unfortunate if now the shares that we had planned to allocate to Kenyans goes to other classes of investors. Yeah. Because we really want to democratize this. We want as many Kenyans as possible to have a piece of KPC. So it would be, in my view, and my wish would be that Kenyans between now and next week, 19th, we have as many Kenyans as possible to come forward so that we even have oversubscription. But in the event some shares will remain, then definitely we will take them to the others where they have been oversubscribed.
Those who want them.
Yeah, those who want them.
Yeah.
And the disadvantage of that is these shares will be bought, and then we will be interested in buying them again, and you will find the share prices have gone up. So it would be, in my view, I would advise, because if you look at the interest in the region, especially the East African region, we may end up that many of the shares then again go to that class of shareholding. Yeah.
You know, you've talked a lot about the Sovereign Wealth Fund and
Yes.
Infrastructure Fund.
Yes.
Right, you and the president as well. Let's talk about those two funds.
Yes.
How far are we on that?
The National Infrastructure Fund, what the cabinet gave an approval in December, on 15th December, during the cabinet meeting, and so we went ahead. The cabinet approved that I should go ahead and set up the fund. So what happens is that we registered as a limited liability company. Under the GOE bill, the GOE law that was passed late last year. But again, we agreed as a government that this requires a standalone legislation because you really first, you want Kenyans to participate in terms of public participation in the legal framework that would govern this fund, in terms of the governance structure and even in terms of sourcing of fund and the usage of the same. So the bill has already been prepared, the draft bill. And actually, it's no longer a draft because we have already forwarded it to the National Assembly for consideration. So the bill is in the National Assembly, which will now process it, public participation, and then pass it. And then it becomes an act of parliament. The Sovereign Wealth Fund bill is also prepared and it is ready. And we are getting the input of the Attorney General. And the distinction is simple. National Infrastructure Fund is going to be an investment vehicle for Kenya in public bankable projects. But on Sovereign Wealth Fund, it is meant for the future generation. And there are three categories of where this fund will be applied. One, it can be applied also on infrastructure. Second, it is going to be for intergenerational wealth. That's Urithi aspect of it. And three, it is also going to help us address possible external or even internal shocks. Because like we had COVID-19. Yes, COVID-19 was addressed because it was a global concern, but we are moving to a situation, if you look at the global dynamics, where every country will be for themselves. People have started looking inward. So in the event that we are left alone, we should have some fund to deal with those shocks. So that is why sovereign wealth fund is very critical. And largely it is for future generation.
But tell me something, Waziri.
Yeah.
There is no framework for it right now.
Yeah, but that is why I'm saying that there's a bill in place that is going to Parliament. So we will not set up the fund until the bill is transacted and becomes a law, and then there is a legal framework that will set the governance structure and set how the fund will be used.
Plus minus, what's the timeline?
Looking at it, maybe March, latest April, we should have Sovereign Wealth Fund Act in place. And the National Infrastructure Fund should even be earlier than that, but around March, looking at the timeline. But again, Parliament cannot be controlled from the executive. They have their own calendar and they will run it. From my experience in Parliament, and it is long, I know Parliament can easily complete all the processes and have the legal framework in place by latest end of March.
End of March?
For NIF. For National Infrastructure Fund. Yes. And maybe for Sovereign Wealth Fund by April.
How sure are we that the proceeds from privatization will actually get to where they're supposed to be with the two funds?
You see, clearly what the funds are saying is the proceeds of privatization will go into these funds. So it will be a legal requirement. Two, there will be appropriation by Parliament. And we have communicated. You see, the executive has communicated and pronounced itself. The president himself has gone out there and said that this money will be invested in these two funds, and the bulk of it will go to National Infrastructure Fund. So you don't expect any other action to be taken contrary to what the government has already communicated. And the cabinet took a decision on that.
But then how sure can you reassure Kenyans that this privatization will work? Because, again, Eurobond, NYS, I can go on and on, so many scandals, so many scams, and Kenyans are skeptical.
You see, Jeff, it is well enough to be skeptical and is well enough to lack trust. But again, we are not going to stop living because some mistakes were done in the past. We must take decisions. And my view is that Kenyans need to trust what we are saying. If we have said that we are going to privatize KPC and divest in Safaricom, and the proceeds is this much, Safaricom is 204 billion shillings before you bring in the advance dividend. Yep. And then we have KPC, we are expecting to raise 106 billion, which is a decent amount, is about 65% of the value of KPC. Now, if we raise this money, is about over 300, almost 350, including the dividend, billion. And we have said it is going into these funds. And we have said that the funds, and the legal framework is being processed, that the funds will only be used for projects that have been appraised, feasibility study done, and have found to be bankable, found to be commercially viable. The rest of the projects, the roads in your village, Jeff, which are not bankable, which are not commercially viable, which are used by you people to transport a few things and the motorcycle riders and all that. Yes. Those ones we will still fund, but on the budget. So we'll take out these bankable projects from the budget to create space for the other projects to be, because they are also important. They are for social value and they are also for economic value. But it may take long for them to pay back in real sense. And you may not easily, you cannot go and start tolling the roads in your village. People will boycott them and there will be chaos all over. But there are roads that can be tolled, i.e., the road from Athi River to Namanga. That road is crowded already. Yeah. We need to toll it. The road from Nairobi to Thika, which was fantastic a few years ago, now is overcrowded. We need to do all it and toll it, and many people will be willing to pay for it. Now we are taking the road from Rironi to Mau Summit through PPP, but beyond Mau Summit, we still want to do the road to the border so that those who are coming with the trucks from Uganda, which is our leading trading partner in the whole world. Correct. Uganda is
more than the UK.
More than any other country in the world, UK and the rest. So Uganda must be accessed. So how do we do that? Do we have enough resources to take the road all the way to Uganda? No. And PPP, is it going to work? Yes, it can, but it may be very costly. So because the traffic reduces as you go towards past Mau Summit. From Rironi to Mau Summit, the traffic is a bit heavy and it's more profitable. and it can go under PPP. Beyond that, it's less profitable, but still profitable. So what you do, bring in some government resources to blend. That is what we call capital blending. So you blend, and then you bring other people, you tell them, look, we have put in so much money to lower the price, so that even if we are charging the tolls, it is lower. So those are the things that we are thinking about.
I'm surprised you didn't mention the Nairobi-Mombasa Expressway, the one that the Americans...
Nairobi-Mombasa Expressway, there is some interest on PPP through PIP. You are aware, I'm sure, by this American company.
Yeah.
It is being processed, so I don't want to talk about it under this arrangement.
But
there is also, hopefully, unless there are some challenges, and if there will be challenges, then we will take it through the normal competitive bidding process, because that is what the PPP law says. The other road that probably I needed to mention is the Mombasa-Malindi road that we feel can also be dual and toll, because it's a very critical corridor for the tourists.
Are they working on it right now?
Yes, the last time I was around that space, I saw some good work going on, but that is just improving and expanding the road. But what we are thinking of is a major expansion to have more lanes and dual it and toll it, because it's a big... a major road.
Huge road. You know what you guys should have done, huh? You built the road right by the sea, and you just had the Chinese can do it overnight like they did the Nairobi Expressway. Yes. On the sea, Mombasa to Nairobi, so the scenic view all the way.
Mombasa to Malindi?
Malindi.
Yes. Well, I think that's something we can share
what do you think?
With the ministry.
Please.
Yes.
Will you give me the credit?
If it works?
Yes.
Yeah, you should take... Actually, I thought you'd patent it so that... Jeff, you are just losing money.
I'm losing money?
Yeah, you should have done that.
Exactly,
yes.
exactly. Now someone's going to steal my idea.
Yeah, your idea. But we will remember you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Waziri, do you see the day when domestic borrowing will be the order of the day? Yeah. Where we don't have to rely on foreigners, Chinese, Americans, Europeans, to come and do our infrastructure, to come and do what we can do ourselves. For instance, NSSF, I interviewed them last week, Koros on Sunday Live. David Koros,
yes.
Managing Trustee, was talk about they're putting up a building for 30 million shillings in the CBD. They're building, they're putting another 30 billion. I think they're part of the Mausame Rironi Highway.
Correct.
This is local money. This is our money.
Yes.
Why can't we be proud to be Kenyans spending our own and investing in our own?
And Jeff, that is the thinking. That is the innovative areas that I'm talking about. That is why we are creating the National Infrastructure Fund, so that these pension funds which have excess liquidity, because there will be more excess liquidity as we go forward. Why? Look, the interest rates on government bonds, papers are coming down. A while back, in 2024, when I came into office, actually, I remember the 91-day Treasury bill was trading at 15.6. Today, it's below 8%. So the government papers, the government interest used to be lucrative. It's not normal. Yeah. So now, you see, NSSF has to invest money because they are collecting so much money from pensioners, from Kenyans who will be retiring. Yeah. And they need to make returns on these savings, so that when you and I, if you are in NSSF, you'll be retiring, then you get something decent, not the miserable 20,000, 60,000 that people have been getting. How then do they do that? That's why you find they have very limited alternatives. So they go to these buildings and putting up residential houses. Ideally, if we have this fund functioning very well, it will de-risk and crowd in NSSF, PSSF, and the others, and even insurance companies which have been investing largely in government paper. Even banks which have been investing in government paper can now invest direct in terms of, in form of commercial kind of partnership to make money, and at the same time we get our projects and there is no loan or debt in our books. That is the direction that we are taking. And I wish we had this kind of engagement where people are sober like we are discussing, Jeff, and just appreciate what the government is intending to do without thinking about what are you going to mess up. Why can't we allow this National Infrastructure Fund to work so that we see it working? And it has worked elsewhere. There are countries where it has worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the Singapore route we're taking?
This is actually the Singapore route, and I'm told now it is actually route to Canaan through Singapore. So it has been modeled in the spirit of broad-based government. It was Singapore, I think, under Kenya Kwanza. And now the spirit of broad-based government has brought in the Canaan. So we will go to Canaan through Singapore. I don't know how that route will look like, but it will go that way.
Yes.
I think you are a better geographer.
I am,
than
yes.
me.
Yes.
So how is it?
I'm a good pilot.
This is Kenya. So how is Singapore? Is the other side?
Is the other side, is east.
It's the east, yes,
yeah.
it is east.
Yeah.
Then where is Canaan?
Canaan is towards Israel. So we go north first.
So we go...
North.
No, we go to Singapore first.
First?
Yes, before Canaan is the destination. So please don't get distracted. Yeah, Canaan is the actual destination.
So we go east first to Singapore.
Correct.
And then we come back
to Canaan. So that is the route. And how do we get there? This is a strategy.
This is a start. Waziri, I want to talk more about ODM politics. A lot of critics are saying ODM is on its deathbed. I want to talk to you about that after the break. What do you think? It's been around 20 years. I remember 2005 after the banana orange thing. 2005, 20 plus years. Is it on its deathbed just because Baba has left? Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning, John Mbadi, is in the house today, folks. Smart man. He's talking money. He's talking numbers. I hope you guys have understood most of it, because I didn't. I'm kidding. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff at Citizen TV Kenya, hashtag JK Live. JK Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.